Good morning, family and friends. Hopefully everybody's doing good this morning. Oh, got the dog barking, of course. But this is the front of our house here in Malolos. And this is the front gate. And you can see most houses here in the Philippines are pretty well secured for privacy and just protection. And so it's got a gate and a front door. Let me see if I can turn the camera. I can see what I'm filming a little bit easier and you don't have to look at my face this morning. So as we enter in to the little area here, again, Abby, you can see Abby been working on lots of plants to make this look nice. A front door open right now. But this is the area that we're working on about this video. You can see we have a side door here, and then we have the veranda. You can see the bamboo up there on the side, and that's our balcony or veranda, whatever you want to call it, out of our bedroom upstairs. But this pathway would be blocked. You can see the stairway right now is pretty well blocked for us to get in and out of this side door, and we use this side door quite a bit for carrying stuff in and out and everything else, because it goes into the side, it's not directly into the house. So you can see with that stairway, if it was permanent, it really blocks this pathway. So again, this is where we've got this stairway that, again, this is not new. I've seen this on YouTube, but I had to change the design a little bit to match the height than what we have here. And you can see here, then, to get it out of the way, we just slide it up, and now we have full access to the door and access to do what we need to here. Okay, as I started this project, I did look on YouTube and did find a couple of or three people on YouTube that had some fold up staircases, which was very similar to what I needed. Unfortunately, some of them was out of wood because they were inside. Since I'm outside, I had to use something besides wood, obviously. We looked at, I would love to have used aluminum, but unfortunately here in the Philippines, aluminum was really not an option. I just could not find the structural steel I needed, the plate steel I needed, and also none of the workers, the welders and stuff, deal with aluminum. The only aluminum you can find really in the Philippines is the aluminum extrusions that they use for the windows, and then all those windows are just riveted together. They're not welded together. So that means I had to go back to stainless steel, which is great for the corrosion, but it does make it heavier. And the things that was really bothering me as I was looking at the design of the stairway here was the weight, again, the weight. And I knew if I'd built everything out of stainless steel that, again, it would be very heavy and become dangerous and just maybe not impossible to lift up. So one of the things I looked at early on was the tread material. And you can see here I got some black, but while I was looking and doing some research, I found this at the local hardware store. And they're actually made to put in like hog pens or dog pens and stuff like that. So it's a very lightweight plastic. It's got a little bit of a fiber reinforcement to it, but it is fairly lightweight, and it also provides some traction for the stair tread. Okay. But I went ahead and bought one, and as I put it on the ground, and I can't hardly see that. There you go. Anyway, and as I stepped up, I put a little board on each end so I could see if it had the strength. And unfortunately, it didn't have the strength to lift the whole thing without breaking. So I knew that I still had to go ahead and support it. And so as I was talking to Jay, you can see here that this is a piece of angle iron that supports the strength of the plastic. But I still save a lot of weight because this provides the whole surface area, so we got a nice, safe place to put your foot, and it's not slippery as a stainless steel piece would. Anyway, so this is what And this was one of the early design changes or designs that I had to come up with, because I knew, again, we wasn't going to be able to use aluminum. I was going to have to use stainless steel, and I had to save weight as much as possible. So by using these, and these are really cheap here in the Philippines because apparently they use a whole lot of them. You can see they have some little tabs so that they would snap in together. We just cut those off so that we didn't need that, since we really used one. And as it turned out, they're exactly the right size that we needed, both the width and the length. We had basically a 1 foot and 2 foot here, and on the top where I have the 2 stationary steps, those I was able to use some 1 foot by 3 foot long pieces like this one and cut those to fit. So that really was able to, when I came up with this design, it really made was allowed me to move forward with going for it, because without that, again, the stairs would have been just too heavy and was not going to be safe. And so this was a big saving, both in money and also in weight. So, but as I started looking at this, so then I took that design or that idea from some of the other YouTubers, and I went out and measured the height and the area and everything that I had. And I came here onto AutoCAD and laid that out. And hopefully you can kind of see a little bit, and this is showing the stairway, and I had to get the height and the run to line up, and also with the little roof section that I had to go over, and a couple of steps there. I'm not sure if you can see the height of a 6 foot man in purple here, so you can, that gives you a relative height of what it is. And unfortunately, to do it, I've got actually about a 13.5 inch rise, which normally you only want a 12 inch. So it's not ideal in that situation, but that was able to get it better, and with everything that I had. So I've got a little bit higher step than what I would like. You can see here my AutoCAD layout. Here's where it's in the down position. Here it's in the up position, where the steps are actually in the up position. And this turned out really nice. When I did this originally, in the down position, I didn't realize it, but I had the steps lined up right next to each other, and so whenever they started to rise, they would have actually hit and would have had a conflict. And so luckily I saw that on my drawing. In fact, I'd already given some of the information to Jay, which is my welder that was doing this, and he was able to quickly change before he got too very far involved. And I will stop and say a little bit about Jay. Jay is a really good welder. I've been really impressed. His name was given to me from my friend Daryl, so thanks Daryl for giving him. And again, Jay was also asked quite a few questions, and even in the middle of building, he came back a couple of times with some very good questions, and actually some design improvements that I really appreciate. One of them was because he just needed a little extra strength, he felt like, and also because my original design only had some welding on this one beam on one side. And as you know, as you weld on just one side, the heat build up and it will actually start warping that. And by adding this additional structure, again, it was a fairly lightweight structure that he put on there, he was able to correct that warping of that one beam. Jay, thank you if you're watching this. Thank you for your extra look into that and thought process, and again to ask the questions and let's discuss. And that's what we did. We was able to discuss, come up with a better solution with both of us working on it together. So with that, this is where we came up, and I also was able to draw it, and I'm not sure if you can see, but this is where the steps are down, and then over here I've actually got where the steps are going up, so I could really look at the hinges and to see if I'd have an interference with the hinges, and as it turns out we did. And so you can see here, or maybe you can't, but Jay ended up taking each one of these hinges and actually cutting off a little bit to make them a little bit narrower than what they originally were, so that it would, when it folded up, that I wouldn't have those hinges hitting against the wall and causing either damage on the wall or actually not being able to fully put that stairway up against the wall. So again, that was a very good deal. And again, so this was the design I had, and again, then I gave that information to Jay, and he built it for us, and you see the results. This morning whoa, thunder. Anyway, this morning we're about to start putting the stairway up, the foldable stairway. Let me turn the camera. And we're just now getting started. This is the piece that will go on the wall. So anyway, this is Jay, our contractor. And we're just now getting started. We got to move some of these lines, and I'm going to lower that one so that we can get these plumbing out of the way. There's a step. Some small adjustments we're about to go, but nice music that we got going. Hopefully it won't copyright my video. Stairway. The guys, I'll turn the camera. The guys are still working on kind of the steps. We've got the first part of the stairs siding goes against the wall. It's not permanent yet. This is just put up on some temporary deals. Also, it's been noticed that our wall is not perfectly straight. So as you can see, we come down here and all of a sudden there's a gap. You see the gap is about a finger width, about 5/8. And so right now he's put a big nut there as a spacer, so we'll keep that straight so there's no binding going on as the stairs fold up and down. That's upside down, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay. First step going in. You're gonna have to cut this off, but you knew that, so we left that on. Removing this so that we can screw it up. That was also pretty beat up anyway, so I'm going to replace that piece, make this look better. The first step is on, and just on just with a couple of bolts on the hinges. We've got a few of the steps on, and go ahead and lift. And lifts up against the wall. Beautiful. And we're getting pretty close. This is end of day 2. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah. And then fold it up once more. Perfect. So to close out this video on the fold-up stairway, just a couple of comments. It's actually raining out here today. I want to pick it up. Okay, so we do have a latch here So we push it up and then move the latch over. So we do have a latch so it holds up. And well, I don't have a lock handy. I've got it over in the workshop. But that's where I could put a lock and lock it closed. Now, it is still a little heavy, so we are going to put 2 air cylinders that'll go from here to here, and then as you close it, it will actually collapse, and then it'll have that extra power to help push it up. Also, we're going to go ahead and put a handrail up here, so it's a little easier because it is a little taller each step than normal. It will be handy to have a handrail on that side, but this is how we get up and then again back down, and it is sprinkling right now. This is the look as you go down.